senator. And it turns out that a lot of them could not. A lot of them didn't even know how many senators each state had. We put that video out. American University was not happy with us for doing so. So we can no longer, because American University is a private campus and not a public one, we are no longer allowed to go on there and interview students without a chaperone. So we're thinking maybe we're just going to stand outside the campus next time rather than get the chaperone with us. That's just a little high schoolish. We don't want to have to, we'll be looking over our backs and having them. But it's interesting how the schools do react to this when they see or when it's exposed what their students do not know, as opposed to all the horrible things about America that they actually believe.
Right. Oh, they know those things for a fact, of course. Now, here's another question I've got for you with that. I find myself, because I'm such a political wonk and such a political nerd and follow all this stuff, obviously, as you do. And I look at the results of elections, or I see videos like you put up or other ones, and, anticipating the pending Hillary presidency or Liz Warren presidency, and I think about these folks that are, at American University, they're spending probably north of $40,000 a year to get educated, and I think about the answers that these folks give and those kind of trends, and I cannot help but become thoroughly depressed about our future. How do you avoid that? I mean, how do you avoid, you're standing there talking to a 20, 21, 22-year-old, you're positing potentially Jonathan Gruber because it's such magic that comes out of his mouth for SecDef, and you get people that are engaging on you on that. How do you not just go home and drink yourself unconscious?
Well, I understand. It's a great question. Part of it is because I have a very fun job making fun of these people and making them look stupid. So when I, get home and I watch the finished product and I see that people are enjoying it and finding it funny, that really helps me cope with the fact that these people vote. The second thing is that while we are interviewing these millennials, so to speak, and I don't know when the term millennial is going to end, when the expiration date on that is, but they do tend to get older. And when they get older, they do tend to figure stuff out, and statistics show that they become more conservative. Now, here's the problem, though. The problem is that millennials, or whoever's in that age group from the age of 18 to, say, 30 years old, there are no signs showing that people in those ages are moving away from liberal policies and liberal candidates. So you're talking about an Elizabeth Warren, you're talking about a Hillary Clinton. The people who voted for President Obama twice, maybe out of that age range, may have started making some of their own money, paying some of their own taxes, and come to their senses. But there's a whole new group of those people who are going to vote for liberal policies, who are going to be enhanced, you're going to be intrigued by the war on women rhetoric and buy into that. And personally, I don't know what to do about that. They are the ones on college campuses, and they are the ones who are going to be a big basis of support, especially if the option is to vote in a woman president. I mean, that's going to mean a lot to them.
Dan, that's scary stuff. Man, listen, we got 5 minutes with you left, and you said you get to go out and have fun. Speaking of fun, there is another side of you that people who only check you out on MRC don't see. So we have a short clip here. I'm not even going to say what it's about. This is from your YouTube channel. So Jessica, let's roll that, and then we'll talk to Dan about it after.
Great.
Because it's all about that race, about that race. I'm racist, it's all about that race, about that race. You're racist, it's all about that race, we're all racist. It's all about that race, 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 race. I think it's pretty clear that I'm a white guy. Not an Obama fan, but skin color's not why. Don't harbor any racial animosity. It's his ideology and his crap policies now. I see you.
Before I saw
that. Thank you so much for playing that. That was fun. Tough to make,
I thought you'd love it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I was so proud of that. I wish. I'm always a perfectionist when I make these things, and I wish the sound quality had been a little better because I'm basically doing them from my apartment, and I have to, use editing software to get through. But I do the vlog. I try to do something every 2 weeks or so on my YouTube channel that doesn't necessarily go on MRC TV. And what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to push the envelope a little I'm trying to make. I don't think we have enough people who are bringing humor into the conservative movement right now. I feel like some of the people who are trying to bring humor into the conservative movement aren't doing a very good job. And we need funny stuff, because that's how you connect with young people. That's how you connect with kids, and that's honestly how you connect with a lot of adults, as Jon Stewart and Steve Carell has showed us over the last few years. Not Steve Carell, I'm sorry.
And
Colbert.
And on the conservative side, Gutfeld, Greg Gutfeld. Listen, we got to pimp you. You can help us. Your YouTube channel, and I want people to go watch that video. It's outstanding. Tell us your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel is, if you search on YouTube for Dan Joseph 78, I believe that will come up.
It does.
It
does.
A long address. Okay, yeah. So Dan Joseph 78 is the YouTube channel, and not only can you find my original stuff there, but and they're not all songs. Some of them are just places where I try to explain an issue and why it's important in a way that people are going to understand, and like ISIS or what happened in the Ukraine, in a funny way that people are going to understand, and that's going to appeal to conservatives. But also, you can find almost all the videos that we've done at MRC TV. All the man-on-the-street stuff from the past 5 years is on there. So I encourage everybody to go. It's a lot of fun. I hope they find it a lot of fun, and there's a lot of really funny and informative stuff on there, especially when it comes to a lot of the things we've been seeing in terms of race relations over the last few months. We had that chronicled way back. Going to, the beginning of the Obama administration. So, thank you so much for playing that, and I encourage everybody to visit if they get the chance.
And Dan, again, thank you so much for being on the Right Mics. We'll talk to you down the road, brother. This is the Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. Thanks to Dan Joseph. We will be right back after a short break. And we will be bringing on our next guest. We told you who it was. And if you didn't pay attention, that's on you. Do not go anywhere. Do not go away. This is the Right Mics. Mike Miller, Michael Hausum. Dan Joseph, thank you. Happy New Year's, man.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year to you, too. Hey, this is Donnie Cates, author of Buzzkill, and you are tuned in to Vigilant Liberty Radio. Get it on.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right-wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
A progressive woman once told me that if she was my wife, she'd poison my coffee. I told her if I was her husband, I'd drink it. This is Alan Bordius, host of Their Finest Hour, Monday nights, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
This is Kevin Jackson of the Black Sphere Radio Show. Listen to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
What's going on in your head? I think your brain is gone dead.
This is Lachlan Marquet of the Washington Free Beacon, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
The ass says he doesn't have a horse in this race, but Retractor knows he does. Now he's got egg on his face. The donkey's on the left got owned by a kid. They can say it was a crime, but Retractor knows what.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Well, welcome back to the show. You are listening to The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. We are launching into the second of the last day of the 2014 shows of The Right Mics. And we're doing a little bit of a combination of current stuff, reflecting on the year. Mike's complaining about the temperatures in Indianapolis. I'm doing the same.
No. You were complaining about it being freezing cold in Newport Beach, and it was like in the mid-60s, and you had to put your little tank top back on. You started it, dude.
Well, that's what I meant by you complaining. I meant by that I was complaining, of course. So now we have another special guest on right now. I'm very excited about that. Ricochet's editor. Ricochet, if you're not familiar with the site, we will put that on therightmics.us, our show update, conservative conversation and community. The editor, John Gabriel, is on the line with us from Arizona. And my guess would be that you've got some sort of glass tipped up to your face right now. Is that correct, John?
Exactly. I have to lower it a little so you can hear me talk. But yeah, drinking coffee because it's freezing here as well in the Phoenix area. It's dipped. It might dip under 60 tonight, I'm thinking. So I got my extra thick.
You guys, I think I'm just going to leave right now.
Well, hey, you know what you know, and that's kind of the thing. So I got to ask you this, John. Obviously, I've followed you on Twitter for a long time, and it took a lot of sucking up. It took a lot of ingratiating behavior on my part to get you to follow me back, which was great, obviously. But one question that folks are going to want to know, John. You need to explain that for folks that don't know. How are you, and what is the X, and what does that mean?
Well, it came from, I used to blog semi-anonymously. I just went by John, and a friend and I started just a local blog here in Arizona. We lived out in the exurbs of Phoenix, and we called it Exurban League, which was a terrible name for a blog. And so when I joined Twitter, I didn't want to put my full name out there, so it was Exurban John, which sounded really dumb, so I shortened it to X John. And then I tried to change it afterwards, but everybody knew me as X John at that point. So, and it's short, so I just kept it. So it doesn't make a lot of sense anymore, but that's the origin of it, the origin myth.
Okay, got it. Well, I gotta say, I think X-Urban League is actually hilarious. There's a little bit of race baiting, reverse race baiting.
Yeah. We mostly featured on focused on barbecuing and making sure your lawn was watered and you followed all the HOA regulations instead of the inner city crime kind of stuff.
Oh, right. Well, it's funny. My when I was growing up, my grandfather worked for the Urban League, and it was I probably started to become real politically active and aware at a pretty young age. I mean, I was dropping flyers for Reagan's re-election in 1983. So
and
I go back.
How old were you then? How old were you in 83?
I was 14 years old in 1983.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was not voting, yet I was out doing stuff for Reagan. And I remember we were back in Illinois. My dad's parents lived in Peoria, and my dad had explained to me that do not bring up politics.